Okay, so can we start with your introduction, Ashwini?
Yes, so my name is Ashwini Jagtap
Okay.
and I'm from Pune. I have a total 2 years of experience in front-end technologies like HTML, CSS, Angular. Like currently I completed 10 months in like Angular, and apart from that, like I completed like 4 months like training and internship in main stack developer. Uh, in 2021, and apart from that I am currently working in Infosys as senior system engineer.
Okay, so you're working with Angular. Any framework do you know
Mhm.
apart from Angular, like React and all?
No, actually I didn't
Okay,
work there. React.
okay,
Yeah.
okay. And the backend side, you're working with Node.js as a main one or .NET?
Actually in this project, like we are using PHP and SQL in this project, but
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
actually I want to give
So how much
Node and
percent? Okay, okay. How much percent in the front end? Means,
yeah, like most of the in Angular only, like in
okay,
backend PHP and SQL. So
okay. So you are not working with that, correct?
yeah, yeah, there are like separate teams.
Mhm. Okay, so what I can do, so I will start with first Angular some questions, then we can go through the JavaScript questions, and
Mm.
at the last we can ask, I can ask few questions related to the HTML and CSS.
And
Okay,
actually I want to like I'm looking for like main stack developer position. So yeah, you can ask on Node as well.
okay, okay. So for that, I can take another interview for the node only. So I
Sure.
can ask the because in this video, we'll be doing multiple questions related to the multiple technologies. So if you add node as well, now, so it will be big interview. So
Sure,
we can
sure.
predict for that. Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
So yeah.
yeah.
So okay. So we will start with first JavaScript. So do you know what is the latest version of JavaScript we have?
JavaScript latest version.
Okay.
No, actually, not aware.
Okay. So have you heard
I
about
think
ES6?
20. I think years 2020. Maybe I heard last time,
Okay.
but after
So
that, I am not aware like any latest.
okay. So have you heard about ES6?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. ES6. Yeah, I heard.
Okay. So what are the features do you know about ES6?
Yeah, so ES6 comes with like late const, uh, spread operator, rest operator, then for of apart from that destructuring, I think then map method, reduce,
Okay.
arrow functions. Yeah.
Mhm. Okay. So do you know function pairing in the JavaScript? How to do this?
No function occurring.
Okay. Have you heard about closures?
Yeah, closures. Yeah.
Okay. So,
So closures is like we if we use a function inside another function,
mhm.
so that time like if inner function want to access the variables which is in the like parent scope or outer scope, so that should be accessible to inner function by using a like that is concept of closure.
Okay. So what is different between normal function and closure then? So, mhm.
Normal function and closure.
Mhm.
I think like in closures like after function has been completed its execution, so then like its memory is released, right?
Mhm.
uh, but in in closures, the like till inner function is there,
Mhm.
so the scope of parent function is like maintained, like that is not
Okay.
like variables are not destroyed
Mhm.
from
Yeah.
memory.
So variable in the sense it has a reference of the inner function, correct? So because of that, it holds the memory even after the execution of the parent function, because the parent function
Yes.
is returning the inner function, correct? So
Correct.
you can even use that parent function any line of the code anywhere in the code. Okay, so that is the one difference. between both.
Mm.
Okay, so if I ask you to write down the code, then let me put in the chat. So just tell me how can we improve this?
Okay.
For- Can you open the chat window?
Yeah, I opened. Uh, um, okay, so what I have to do?
The question is, I want to output as a 6, okay, or 6 or a 5. Okay, so 6 in the sense multiplication and sum in the sense of the counting of that. So it would be the 6 only. Okay, so how can I get the sum as a 6 as output of this? So this is related to closure and function chaining. So that is why I was asking you the closure and function. So do you know how to do this?
The out should be 6.
Correct.
By using closure and
Function chaining.
okay. So we are passing 1, 2, 3 as arguments.
Yes.
Some function.
So you don't have directly the arguments as a sum one to say you have a multiple argument even after the polygon function.
We have multiple arguments. Okay.
Okay, you can try that after the round. So yeah, you can copy that question. Okay.
Okay, okay.
Yes.
Okay, sure.
Okay. So have you used any object method in the JavaScript? Object.keys, object.entries, object.values. You have used it?
Yeah. Object.keys, yeah. Object.keys used.
Statement. Okay. So tell me, so if I want to create a new array from the base array, so how can I create that?
A new array from the base array.
Yes. Can you open JS Builder in the browser?
A new array. Okay. New array.
Create,
We can.
yes, create any array. Let ARR 1, 2, 3, like this.
Okay. Okay. Um,
Okay. So now before
yeah.
printing line number 5, write at line number 4, new array of 0 equal to 10.
Button like
Yes.
this.
Wait now. Don't run. So now tell me, so if I print ARR only at the line number 5 instead of new array, so what would be the output? Is it going to affect the original as well?
No, it not happened to original array.
Okay, try that. And in the object case, what would happen?
Object. In case of object.
Mm,
No. I think object same only like it not like add to original object. It only add to only
So,
new.
yeah. So, can you put the line number 6 as a ARR over there in the log? No.
Sure.
Wait. Print both the array. Print both the array.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so this is kind of the deep copy now, correct? So
A
even you
deep
are,
copy, yes.
yeah. Okay. So now, if you have the object instead of array over here and you are changing the reference of the element over there, okay? So is it going
Mm-hmm.
to affect the original as well? That was the I was asking, trying to ask you a question.
I think in object also same. I think that not happen to original like object only.
Okay, okay. So you can try later on, create one object, okay? And inside that
Mm-hmm.
object, create another object, okay? And update the inner object value from the new one. It would affect because you are passing the references of it. Even you are passing the spread operator. Okay. So whenever
Oh, okay.
there is a reference comes to the from the parent to child, it get copied to the new one as well. So this is how it would affect the parent as.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
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 Okay. No
It is
problem.
a object. So
Okay.
okay.
Yeah. Have you heard about capturing and the bubbling?
Yeah, capturing and bubbling, yes. So
Mm.
bubbling is if we if we have parent element and inside that we have child element, and if we fire a event, so its direction is in case of bubbling it goes from target element to parent element, the flow is, and in case of capturing the flow goes from parent element to target element.
Okay. And if I want to stop it, then how can I do that?
I think stop propagation, we can use stop propagation.
Okay. Have you heard about stop immediate propagation?
Stop immediate propagation. I think if uh, similar one event for I think similar type of functions, then
Correct. If you have multiple events, different event on the similar element like the button, in that case, if you
Mhm.
want to stop it at the after second button, then you can use immediate propagation at that button
Uh,
level. So it would not go to the parent button. Correct.
mm.
Okay. Okay. So have you used the arrow function in your project?
Arrow functions.
Mhm.
Yes, yes.
Okay. So what is the limitation of arrow function?
Limitation of arrow function.
Mhm.
I think arrow function limitation actually. I think I think this if we use inside arrow function, then it points to the window object and not to current
Mhm.
object. So
Mhm.
that is one I think
Okay.
apart from normal function and arrow function. So in that case, we can
Any
use
other?
a normal function, anonymous function
Any
instead of
other
arrow
difference?
function.
Any other?
Uh, a difference or limitation of arrow function.
Anything. Anything.
Okay,
Difference
so
in the sense
normal.
that is correct. So reported to teacher one. That is correct. So one question. So is it going to hoist or not?
No, arrow function not gonna host.
Correct. And you can you use the arguments object over there in the arrow function?
I think arguments we can use with normal function only. I think,
Mm-hmm.
or not with arrow functions.
Correct. So for that case, what we have to use?
Rest operators.
Correct. Okay. Okay. So have you heard of temporal dead zone?
Temporal dead zone. Yes.
Okay. What it is?
So when we declare a variable with var,
Mhm.
so there is two phases: memory creation and code execution. So for var, memory got allocated and undefined is stored for var. But if it is a late and const, not same for that. It is in block scope. So once value is assigned to that late and const, then only we can able to access it. So till the value we not assigned to a let and const, so till that time it is in temporal dead zone.
Okay. Okay. So, what is scope then?
Sorry.
What is scope?
Oh, actually, I'm not able to understand. What do you say?
Scope.
Scope. Okay, okay.
Yeah.
So there are three types of scope. One is global scope.
Mhm.
Second one is function scope, and third one is block scope.
Mhm.
So normal variable having two scope, global scope and a function scope, and let and const having the block scope. Block scope in a sense, if loop scope, like if while
Mhm.
such type of scope.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. That's a for loop then. Okay.
yeah, for loop, yeah.
Yeah. So, to create a variable in JavaScript, do we necessary to use let const where?
Uh, no, I think if we not declare a variable with like any such keywords, so
Mhm.
it can create in like global context, like
Mhm.
it can treat it as global variable. But if we use strict method, no, so that time we not able to create that such type of variables.
Correct. Correct. Okay. Have you heard about the event loop?
Event loop,
Yes.
yes. So
Okay.
the thing is, previously I think JavaScript is a synchronous language only. So
Mhm.
execution is like line by line. But I think the like Node.js came after that. Like JavaScript has become asynchronous, which is like a non-blocking of input output. So for that, what it does, if when code execution is started, it goes in call stack, and if it has the asynchronous functions or set timeout, set interval, so it get pushed into the callback queue. So event loop continuously check for call stack. If once a call stack has been empty, so that time like this set timeout promises or this asynchronous code has been via callback queue. It has been pushed to call stack, and it has been executed. So call stack continuously check for like call stack. If it is empty, then that callback functions and all these things has been pushed to call stack.
Okay. So if we have one set timeout and it will have the promise. Okay. So which then will get executed by
Promise and
set timeout.
set timeout. I think promise has the first preference, and set timeout is executed after like a specific time, right? But I think promise has first
No.
priority.
See, set timeout have zero delay minute and 0 milliseconds of delay. Okay. And you have promise.
Set
So in that
timeout.
case, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So which one in that case will execute? Do you know
Execute
micro
first.
task queue also is there? Have you heard about it?
Micro task. Yes, yes, yes.
Yes.
Micro and macro. I
Yes.
think promise has first preference, and after that,
Yes.
set timeout
That,
should execute.
yeah. I know. So promise has more precedence than the set time.
Yeah, yeah, correct.
Yes. Okay. Okay. We'll move to the next question. So, how the destructuring works in the JavaScript?
Suppose if we have a array,
Mm.
and we have to access the array elements as a variable, like we have to assign the array elements to a variable, so that time we can use destructuring.
Okay. So, have you used the export and import methods in the JavaScript?
Yeah, yeah, export and import, yes.
Okay. So, how can you export the object from one file to another file?
uh, I think there are uh, two things. I think one is
Right.
named, and I think default something for named. If you want to like export, we need to use curly braces.
Mm-hmm.
and we have to pass the same name. Like as if we have any object, we have to pass, I think, same name, and we can embed that in curly braces. And if we have to use like default something, I think unnamed, I think, then that time we can give any name, and by that we can,
Okay.
after that we can import here in different file.
Okay. In JavaScript, how to make an API call?
uh, API call fetch,
What the page returns?
fetch, I think, returns promise.
Okay. Okay. So what is promise chaining?
Promise chaining.
Yes.
uh, so if we have like a 5 asynchronous tasks, and if we have to chain it in a like specific order, like after first second got executed, so that time we can use, dot then and dot then,
Not. And
by
if
that. And if
okay, so if you got some error in that case, so how can you get that?
I think if error occurred in between, I think we're not able to, after that time, if any error occurs, so that time it stop execution.
No, but you have to show some error, correct? In that case.
Yeah,
So how can
yeah,
you
dot
show that? Dot?
catch.
Okay. So what are the stages of the promise?
Yeah, it is pending, resolved,
Mm.
and rejected. So when we start the like initiate promise, then that time it is pending. And if like it like we send to request to server, so that time it returns completed. And if it is successfully executed, then it returns resolved. And if it has issues, then it is like rejected.
Okay.
In dot then we can
So yeah, so if it is rejected, then it will come to the your catch block in that case.
catch block,
Yeah.
catch block, and if it
Okay.
is successful, then it is in
Yes.
dot then.
Okay. So what are the type of promises we have?
Promise all,
Mm.
and just over only. No,
Okay. Then we have promise.race, then promise.settle. Have you heard about those?
promise dot to settle, and which one different is
Promise.race.
settle? I think I have heard, but I not used.
No problem. Okay, you can read those. Uh, okay. So what is difference between for off and for in?
For off and for in. Okay, so
Yes.
for off we can use when we have to iterate through array. So we can use for off because it prints values. And if for in, like it iterates through keys, I mean indexes.
Yes.
So in objects we can use mostly for in.
Okay. Okay. So have you written any callback?
Callback.
Yes.
Yeah, so if we have for asynchronous task, we can use callback function. So callback function means function like we can pass parameter as different another function, that is callback. So if you want to fetch some data from the server, so that time we can use callbacks. Mm,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. So have you written any immediately invoke function? I think.
Yeah, I
Okay.
know about that.
Okay. So what is the benefit of it?
I think it gets like immediately called.
Okay.
So I think if we have to call it only once, then we can use immediately in Octa functions. Like it gets immediately called after.
Okay. Any other advantage of it?
Mm, any other advantage of it? Um, maybe it's variable. No, maybe not able to access outside. Maybe not sure. Like
Okay. So your variable will be enclosed your block, so it would not access from the outside. Okay.
Not access from
Okay.
outside. Okay, okay.
Yes. Okay.
Mhm.
So now I have some case over there. I want to access that variable and update that variable.
Okay,
So
access that variable and
yeah,
update that
update that
variable.
variable. So do you know how can we do this in the immediate function?
Immediately in opt function, access that variable and update
Update
that
as well.
variable.
Yes. Yes.
In case of immediately in opt functions, okay. Currently not able to recall.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah. So we use closures for that because function
Uh,
inside other function, right?
function
Yeah.
inside other.
So
Yeah,
and
yeah, correct,
your
correct.
closure inner function have access of the parent type, correct? Parent variable.
Parent. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, correct,
Yeah.
correct, correct.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
correct,
So
correct.
how we do that? Okay. Try to do that kind of example. So you will be getting about it. So have you created any web workers? What is the web worker?
No, not that much with web.
Okay. Okay. So what is different between session, multiple sessions we have, correct, in the JavaScript?
Yes, sessions.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah. So what's the difference between this?
sessions like I think if we have to store data like credit users credential, that time we can use sessions, and it has a scope to only I think only till one tab it has uh, like lifetime, like if we close tab then we not able to access that for sessions.
Okay.
Mm.
And
Um,
any other difference do you know about it?
between sessions and like local storage.
Yes.
um, like local storage, like I think uh, local storage we can store data like, and we can able to I think access it after like we closed uh, like browser and able to
Okay.
access again. And,
Okay. Okay. So now you have opened the JSPinner.net website, correct? If you do
yes.
store in the application something in the session storage and local storage, okay? And you
Mm.
open the same origin in the another tab. Okay? So in that case, which value you are able to access over there? Because you are not closing the browser and you are not closing the tab as well. So in that case, what value you are able to see in the another tab again?
In case of session, I think we're not able to access that previous values.
And why?
In case of local storage, able to access.
Why are you able to access the session storage over there?
I think it has a scope to only tab and like for that origin only, like only that single page only.
Yes, correct. We will start now with the Angular questions. So you have
Sure.
experienced 8 months, correct? In Angular.
Yeah, 8 plus now 2 months. Yeah,
But
now 10 months.
10 months only, correct? Okay, so what
Yeah,
version you are
10.
working with Angular right now?
Angular version 12 we are using in project
Okay,
currently.
okay. So, and what is the latest version of right now, Angular?
Angular, I think in March, Angular 15 has been released.
Right? So, okay. So do you know any features of it? What they have introduced in that latest version?
15, I think one main feature is standalone components. I heard like
Okay,
in 14 they introduced standalone components, but I think some limitations in Angular 14, but I think 15 like officially we can start using standalone components in projects. I think.
okay, okay. Any other feature do you know about routing and all?
Like in Angular 15 you are saying, or
Only 15 only.
okay, latest features. Yeah, apart from that, like not sure.
Okay. Okay, please read
Yeah.
those. once
Yeah,
they
yeah,
feel
yeah, sure.
they have introduced too many things over there. Those will be
Mhm.
operational release, so you can do those.
Okay, sure.
Okay. Yes. Okay. So so how can we pass a data to sibling component in the Angular?
Sibling components, for that we can use input output.
No, parent child not sibling
Sorry,
component.
sorry.
Sibling means
Uh,
a parent has two child. Okay, and from child one to child two, you have to pass a data, not the parent to child and child to parent. So
okay, okay. So what we have to do, we need to by using uh, we need to send to parent first, and from parent we need to send to child, sibling child.
have you done like this?
By using I think input output, we can do that. I
But yeah, correct. Okay. But do you think is it required to touch parent to communicate between two child? Is it necessary? What do you think? Means in the performance
uh,
wise, is it good or bad?
no, no, no. It is not good.
Mhm.
I think subject or that thing. I think
Yes, we use
should be there
subject
subject.
with the services. Okay. So,
Right, right.
yeah, yeah. So what is the benefit of subject?
Uh, like see, like input output we can use, like if we have parent child relationship, but if you want to send data where like parent child relationship not exist, and like irrelevant like components, so that time we can use subject.
Yes. Yeah, so that is the one benefit of the subject to communicate with
Mhm.
multiple components. Any other
Yes.
advantage do you know about the subject?
Apart from that, um, no, I don't know that.
Okay. Okay. I will tell you. So subject is a special kind of observable and subscriber. So it can emit the data as well and it can subscribe the as well. Okay. So this is how the subject helps us to communicate within multiple components. So tell me if you are using the subject in the component A, okay, and in component B you are subscribing it. Okay. So it
Mhm.
automatically as soon as you emit new value from the component A, automatically B
Uh,
component will know that something happened here because of the subject. Okay. So that is the advantage of the
yes,
sub.
yes.
Yeah, yeah. So that is the
Yeah, yeah,
advantage. So
correct.
it can behave as a subscriber as well, and it can behave as an observable as well. Okay.
Observable as well plus
Yeah,
subscriber as well.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
correct. Yeah, got.
So do create a small example of it and try to do that. So how it is working. Okay.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So what are the types of subject do we have?
So behavioral subject, and I know replay subject.
Mhm. Have you heard about
These
async
two.
subject?
Yeah, I heard about a sync subject as well. Yes, yes,
Mhm.
I heard.
Have you used it?
Well, mostly I used subject and behavioral subject only. And
Okay.
about replay and async, yeah, I just know like
Okay.
concept. And
Okay. So behavioral subject versus subject. What are the difference between both?
then uh, if we want the like values, upcoming values, so we can use subject, and behavioral subject if we want to access the like latest upcoming values plus I think one previous value.
No, that is regular subject. For behavioral subject, we hold the initial value, okay, and the subject will
Oh,
not hold any kind of the initial value. Okay, so if you have the e-commerce website and you show the my account at the top, correct, in the right side,
oh,
in the Flipkart Amazon, okay. So in that case, as soon
mm,
as you logged in, you show your name, correct. If you logged in, so
yes.
it will show your name. Before that, if you are not logged in, then at that time it shows my account, okay. So my
Mm-hmm.
account, in that case, we will create a behavioral subject and we'll pass the initial value as a my account over there. Okay. And once you are able to log in, we will edit the new value with your name. So it will detect your name over there. Okay. So this is the one way to, we can say that one way to use the subject, and we can have multiple users. And you are saying about the buffer, so it works with the request subject. So it will have hold the limit. We will pass the five buffer over, so it will hold the previous five values over there. Okay. So these are the
In
three
reply
things.
to details.
Yeah. Right. So subject will not hold anything. Where the subject will hold initial, and the replace subject will hold the buffer value as we pass over it.
Mm.
Yeah. So
Uh,
yeah.
Behavioral subject hold initial value. Okay.
Correct. Okay.
Mhm. Okay, okay, got it.
Yeah. So have you used the RxJS operators in your project?
Yeah, RxJS operator, yes.
Okay. So which one you use the most?
Mm, I think map, then take,
Mm-hmm.
range, pipe.
Okay. So have you used from event?
Yes, from event, yes. From
What is
event.
the use of it?
Uh, from event, if we have a
Yeah.
button events or any mouse movements, so that time by we have to convert that into observable. So that time we can use from event,
Okay.
convert events to I think observable, that functionality.
Okay. Okay. So now suppose you have a text box. Okay. And you have one search API. Okay. Like the way
Uh-huh.
we have in the Amazon and Flipkart. Okay. You are typing for laptop. So you are searching for laptop now. So if you type LAP, the every keystroke, the request goes to backend. Okay. To fetch
Hmm.
the related data related to the your key, whatever the input you are passing. So how can we avoid the multiple API calls with the RxJS?
Actually, I
Any operator,
implemented.
yeah, any operator do we know about it? We have multiple
Actually,
ways
no.
to avoid these things. So, did you get the question first?
Yeah, I got.
Yeah.
I implemented this in JavaScript, but in Angular, actually,
No,
I'm
no.
not
So
sure.
tell me in the JavaScript how you implemented, what you did.
Mm, yeah, like I understand, like for each
Yes,
keystroke, request should
it
not
should
go to
not go.
backend.
Yeah, yeah, correct, correct.
Yeah, only like when we mouse up has been done. In that case, only like after we
Yes.
press
We,
all the things, so
yeah.
when we
So,
mouse up.
yeah. So we have two things in the RxJS, debouncing and throttling. Okay. So with it, we can do this. We can pass a debouncing time over there. So it will wait for that much of the time after the your keystroke. Okay.
Oh,
And
yeah, correct.
in the
I
throttling,
heard.
it will execute every whatever timer you are given over there. If you type LA and you wait for the 2 millisecond, 2 second over there. If you pass 2 seconds, then after that it will get executed. So these two things over there we use.
So that is we can use in like Angular as well, like
Yeah, yeah.
debouncing.
It is the
Okay.
operator from the RxJS only.
Okay, I thought
Yeah.
JavaScript. Okay, okay.
So JavaScript don't have anything.
Debouncing.
Yeah. This is
So
the
in
RX.
debouncing we can set a timer,
Yes. Timer in the
and
both
in
the case.
throttling.
No, no. Timer is in the both the case. But you have to have the condition over there. As soon as the timer you stop, then the timer will check it is stop or not. Then only it goes. Try to create a
Okay.
small example, then you can get it. Just
Yeah, sure, sure.
instead of sending the request to the backend, just print the console.log in the your console in the service level. We can get. Okay. So
Sure, I can try.
what is content projection?
Uh, Content projection, I think we can implement by using like ENG content.
Yeah.
So if we, in a parent element we have child element, and child element we can use in parent element by using selector. But inside that, if we add any content, it not project in UI. So for that we can use eng content. So by using that, we can able to access that content.
Okay. Okay. So have you used ng template?
Yes, I used ng actually currently not that much, but yeah, I think used ng template.
Okay. So have you used ng if else condition in the component of the HTML?
Yeah.
Okay. So in that case, we pass else part as a template to the reference.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Now I'm able to replace. Okay.
Okay.
ng template in else. Okay.
Mhm. Okay. Uh, what are the guards we have in the Angular?
Can activate child, can deactivate I think, and can load it.
Okay. So what is the can activate when we use it?
And see, if we have authorized user, then we want that route should be accessible. So that time we can return true, like if like set condition, like if it is authorized user, then only able to access that route. So then that time we can use can activate.
Okay. Okay. Uh, have you heard about pure pipes and impure pipes?
Yes, pure pep. Yeah.
Okay. So
So,
what is uh,
yeah. So, pure pipes means if any input value changes, then that time only pure pipe trigger the change. And in impure pipe, what happens if any keystroke or any keystroke or small changes, the input pipe should trigger the change. So that is main difference between both.
okay. 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 So how many ways we can bind the data to the template?
I think four ways.
Hmm.
Uh, String interpolation, then event binding,
Hmm.
property binding, and fourth one is two-way data binding by using ENG model.
Okay. So have you heard about ng on changes lifecycle hook?
ENG on changes, yes.
What is of use it?
What happens if the input value has been changed? We can use that at the rate input operator. So when input value has been changed, so that time only it triggers ENG on
Okay.
changes, yes.
Okay. Okay. So try to create an example from the parent-child relationship. Okay. And pass a latest value from parent to child after the some event. Okay. And try to print what it prints over there in the ng changes. So it puts the previous value and the current value. Okay. So try this example once. You will learn too many things over there. How it behaves to from the parent to child relationship. How it behaves. Okay.
Okay.
So yeah. So what is difference between structural directive and attribute directive?
Uh, Structural directive and attribute. Structural, it deals with, I think, manipulation of DOM, like ng switch, ng for, and attribute. I think it deals with, I think, style, ng class, I think, one, and apart from that, ng style, I think, one. I think it
Okay.
deals with like style only.
When have you created
I
any
just
directives?
custom directive you are saying.
Uh,
Then custom directive created, but currently,
Okay.
For attribute you are saying, like for
Hmm.
style.
We have host binding there, host listener over there in that custom binding.
Yeah. Host.
Uh,
Yeah. I
okay.
created that. Uh,
Hmm.
yeah, host listener and host binding we can use.
Okay.
Uh,
Yeah. Read those
at
as
that
well.
time.
Okay. Okay.
Mhm.
Suppose you have a request, okay, and you want to pass some authorization header or something as a header or something. You want to append the in the request before going to the backend. Okay. So how can you
Hmm.
do this?
I think interceptor,
Hmm.
HTTP interceptor is a concept.
Hmm.
So by using that, we can able to add headers in that request.
So to intercept that request, to pass the new request, what we have to do before that? Have you did that?
Mm, like not in project, but yeah,
Okay.
I tried that, like HTTP interceptor. I tried.
Hmm. So the request, whatever you are getting, we have option of
Mm,
request dot flow over there. So it will clone your the whatever request is coming, and you will append the things which you want to append over there, and you will create another request, appended
mm,
request, and that you will pass to the packet. So there is a request dot clone. We use that for the okay.
request.clone.
Yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
So I have two questions. Last two question. Uh, what is encapsulation? Angular.
Mm, wave encapsulation, like three types:
Hmm.
emulated, none, and I think shallow down. So emulated is by default, if the style uh, specific to I think component only in emulated, and if we use like none, then like global style should be applied to component as well. And I think when it's I think shallow DOM or something,
Hmm.
I think there is I think shallow DOM APIs or something. So like not that much, the
Okay.
regarding shallow DOM, emulated and none.
Hmm. Okay, so in the shadow DOM, it will create a separate DOM from the parent. Okay, so whatever CSS you write inside, okay, it will not affect the parent, and parent CSS will not affect the this. This is the kind of the shadow DOM is it. Okay, okay. So last
Okay.
question, how can we improve the performance of the Angular project? What are the things we have to take on care?
To improve the performance of Angular application.
Hmm. What are the best way to do it? What are the basic things we have to follow while writing Angular application?
To improve the performance,
Have you heard about track by in the NGCOP?
track by.
Hmm.
No, actually not.
Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
while creating the subscription, okay, in
Mm-hmm.
the component, we have to unsubscribe it. Correct?
Yes. We have
So
to
where
unsubscribe it.
where we do that?
For unsubscribe, I think there is a enjoy and destroy method. In that we can do, or I think if we use async pipe,
Hmm.
or then we don't need to I think unsubscribe that.
Okay. Yeah, so these things we have to follow. We have to use lazy loading. Then we have to use unsubscribe each the subscription. Then we have to use pure pipes instead of impure pipes. Then we can use track by to track the whatever the index over there already in the DOM while pushing to the new arrays or something over there in the DOM.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have to use change detection patterning as the on push whenever there is a no requirement to touch the child component, something happen to the parent. And there are a couple of things as well. So these things we need to taken care while writing the Angular application. So I would
Okay.
suggest you to go through these things. How can we improve the performance of Angular application and try to implement those? You will know by the conceptual as well.
Yeah, sure. I
Yes,
can. I
yes,
can do.
correct. Yeah. So I think I have covered the too many questions related to Angular as well as the JavaScript as well. So do you have any question right now for me?
Like apart from this, like Angular, if anything, to cover like routing and lazy loading one concept, right?
Yes.
Apart from that, if anything, I have to prepare more.
Do prepare on the subject first. Okay. Subject, theoretical
Subject,
subject,
okay.
these things. Then prepare on your directive thing,
Director, okay. Mm-hmm.
performance kind of thing. Third thing.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if you use the async pipe in your project, what is the limitation of it? How to affect it would affect to your project. So these three, four things you can read, and the data sharing as well.
Data sharing, okay.
Yeah.
Distance, okay.
The most of questions, high level question I have covered. So closely, those questions only asked most of time in the interview.
Okay, and yeah, okay. I can prepare these things.
Yes.
Yeah, so this much things are fine, right, for Angular. Apart from that,
Yes. 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 Have you given any interview before this anywhere?
actually, yeah, actually, 1 month before I, started interviews.
Hmm.
Yeah, like 2, 3 interviews only I given, but my like notice period is 3 months now. So
Hmm.
I put resignation now. So currently only 1 month. So still 2 months is pending. So actually I'm preparing for like a backend, for Node.js and these things.
Okay. So
Um,
have you,
so
do you have offer now or not?
actually, I selected in TCS and one Mobissoft company, but but I told like 3 months. So I did not released my offer till now.
Okay. So if you didn't get any offer, then you can reach them and also I have put down paper and also I can join within this one. So maybe they can release your offer on that time. Or you can
Yeah.
search outside for the plan.
Yeah, yeah. Like I'm thinking like after like some Node.js and this if I once prepared, so after
Hmm.
10, 15 days I can start again
Okay.
giving interviews. Yeah.
Correct. Okay. Any other question?
Uh, yeah, this much only. For Angular. I think I'm actually I think not that much good for now.
Mhm. But
Yeah, so
that is
like you
okay.
told that.
That is okay. Everyone, your experience is not that much, so that is fine with me.
Okay, and in testing perspective of like that Jasmine and that how much
Hmm.
they should expect.
So it's depend upon the interviewer. So if you have written any test case, so you can say in that case I have written, and also you can ask questions. So if you are not written, then you can dedicate them. I have not written any test case, but I know about these things, so you can tell those things only. But if you have time to learn those as well, so please learn. So it would be having more chances to getting selected.
And
Because
one thing I heard like there is ENGRX also one concept, right?
yes.
So for that, can I prepare for that or
I think you can skip for now for this switch, but when you switch the next time, you should prepare those as well.
for ENGRX?
Yes.
Mm.
Mm.
Okay,
So,
okay, sure.
yeah. Any other question,
Mm,
Bring
no, and actually once no one person asked me like chart.js.
chart also. Okay.
Yeah, I think so. Like when like how with how like for which requirements we need to use that chart.js this.
No, suppose you have one dashboard, okay, and over there you want to say share your data in the visualize fashion. In that case only we
Mhm.
use such kind of things. So that is not the problem. So if too many libraries we have currently, maybe close to
Mhm.
10,000 libraries we have. Suppose one person works on the chat.js, I would work on the D3.js. Okay, so same kind of thing we
Mhm.
can do the another library. So that is not the
Okay.
problem. So if you have time to learn, do them. If you don't have, you can
Mhm.
skip it. That is not the problem.
Okay, okay. So
And
that is
those,
as per requirement.
yeah, so that thing are not much, I can say, related to your coding knowledge. So you have to just pass the data to it. It automatically renders. So you don't need to take care of it. So I think that you can skip or not.
Okay. And one more thing I have to ask, like for coding, if they ask me no coding, like a river string, like
Hmm.
and river to well, so such type of questions like uh, need to prepare, right?
Yes, yes. Do prepare. Actually, on the my channel as well, I have started such kind of questions someday. So, like the way I have did for the, suppose you have UI dev guide, okay? So U is
Mm-hmm.
capital, D is capital, and guide G is capital. So in that case, I want to make it as a lower case, and before having the space, I would add the underscore over there. So how can I do this? And vice versa, how can I do this? So such kind of questions, tricky questions mostly asked. So that is why I have created that playlist over there. So I'll be sharing those kind of questions in that playlist in the local.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
prepare,
yeah.
yeah, but prepare those things. That will help you.
So for that, any uh, like any in online any questions that for
Uh,
like coding and JavaScript coding interpretations.
I think I don't have that. So you can go to the GitHub and you can search over there. You will get it. But I think the exact the what you are looking that would not be there. So small snippet will be over there. But you can think like that. So if you have asked someone to count the element of the array, so that I have created just before this video. So that would be
Mm-hmm.
coming in the next. So in that case, how you think about it? How can you do this? So like the way only. So but do prepare those things and you make your own notes while you are creating any kind of thing. Yeah. So it would help to your next switch.
Sure, sure. And one more question, like for these interviews, we need to prepare for some JavaScript like data structure and algorithm, or not needed.
For now, you can skip. You can
Yeah,
focus
for
the things. Yeah, yeah. So
technical, like
yeah,
technical stack.
yeah, technical stuff and what is the mechanism back into that. So yeah, DSA is only for your logical thing. Okay. So how can you think
Mm-hmm.
about it? So what is the complexity of it? So it if it is using the for loop and for each, so what is the time complexity between these? So such kind of things only. So you use those things into your daily life of coding, but we are
Mm-hmm.
not aware that much how it is taking time and also we do it directly use. So if you have time, then prepare those as well. But I think for now you can skip.
Okay, sure, sure.
Okay.
Okay, so this much doubts only I have.
Mhm. Okay
Mm,
then, no problem. You can ping me on the Instagram if you have any doubt.
yeah, yeah, I can ping you. And actually, I want like I'm currently preparing for Node.js this MongoDB, so
Yes.
I would like to do that interview as well.
Maybe, yeah, maybe next weekend we can have, you can prepare for this week. Or
Yeah,
whenever you
yeah,
are
sure.
prepared, just tell me. I can create some questions related to that and will ask.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Ping
sure,
me
sure,
just
sure.
on the Instagram whenever you take. Or WhatsApp.
Mhm. Sure.
Okay then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you so
Bye.
much.
Yeah.
Thank you for your time. Yeah, okay.
Yes.